Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Chips and Talk. God damn it. I want to say grab a snack, let's chat, but that is not accurate because we have removed the subtitle. Unless you guys want to keep hearing that subtitle. In which case I will go ahead and say the subtitle. God damn it. Oh my god. Things are pretty loud outside my room, so sorry about that, everyone. But it's okay. We are here. We are alive. We should be thankful. We should give thanks. We should be appreciative. We shouldn't be greedy. You know, whatever it is that people do. Here we are. Today's snack, of course, on this Chips and Talk episode where we grab snacks and then we talk about random topics or talk about what I've been up to. A little bit of ASMR action that a lot of you hate. Today's snack is the Oreo, which is one of the most classic pieces of food in the world. It is just, I mean, come on, it's the Oreo. I believe it's very old. I mean, it's at this point like centuries old. And it is quite a delight to eat one. As many of you have noticed, I do have a brand new camera. I think I've pointed that out. I pointed that out last episode. And last episode, though, I had like 70% of the video was not recorded, even though I was recording. When I exported everything and when I was editing everything, like I wasn't able to find the files that I needed for the first half of the video. So for the longest time, or for like 70% of the video, there's no video, which sucks, and I'm sorry about that. And I was using a different camera at the time, and now I got another camera. I don't have two cameras. I have replaced this camera, or that camera with this camera that you're watching right now. And honestly, it's probably not that big of a difference from my old camera to this camera. Maybe the lens is different, the angle. But again, please let me know what you think of it. I really need your feedback on this. Perhaps this looks worse or better. Let me know. I think that the angle is better. I think just this kind of wider or more kind of vertical aspect to the view is a little bit better. And I need napkins. God damn it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to risk it for the biscuit in losing focus of the camera. So, although this should be a very well capable camera of whatever the hell it is that I am trying to do here. It should be capable of refocusing my face. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. But thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having fantastic holidays. It is currently Saturday, December 31st, 3:27 p.m. I guess it's New Year's Eve or whatever the hell people call it. But we got the Oreo here. Let me see if we can get some, you know what? It's probably not going to happen because there it is. That's the thumbnail. No, it did happen. This camera has better focusing abilities than the previous camera I had, so there's that. I might be a little dark. Who knows? I have no idea. Hopefully this looks okay. I really hope so. But I am getting a new lens, and that should be an interesting look for me. But for some reason, I feel like I prefer the image of the older camera, even though the older camera wasn't focused. Like, I wasn't focused at all in that image. And it did some weird shakery, stuttery stuff around the background, around my face, and around my body, which is kind of annoying. But I guess if you're just looking at my face, there really should be no problem at all, right? But I don't know. It's interesting. This camera though focuses a lot better, I would say. Oh, I just did the twist test on this Oreo and it kind of failed. Oh, no. Oh my God, no. The Oreo is breaking apart. Mayday. The Oreo is breaking apart. Oh God. Mm. Mm. I love the Oreo cream. My favorite part is the actual cookie part, though. Let me know what you're munching on. What snack you're having. Oh, okay. Oh, no! No! Oh. I got stale-ass Oreos. Oh, god damn it. That is the worst. No. Why? Why, Lord? Why do you hate me? Oh my god. Oh. I need to get a napkin. You stay right there, don't move. Oh. Oh god, sorry, the lighting must be weird. God damn it. Oh, okay, all right. Let me get that. Oh. My keyboard has little crumbs of the food that I eat, and I think it's fucking disgusting. When I don't clean it, or at least when I don't like wipe the crumbs that do fall on it, right? Oh, come on. There we go. There's still a little bit left. Do I look like a weirdo? When you were here before, didn't look me in the eye. You're so fucking special. You're really, really special. I don't know. Occasionally, my Chips and Talk videos lately have been getting views. It's interesting. They usually don't get more than, I don't know, I'd say 20 views. But I really appreciate your guys' support. Let me know if you're enjoying this. Let me know what questions you have. I'll answer in the next Chips and Talk video. Of course, you can also email me, superjesusjackson@gmail.com. And also, I don't know where you're on right now, whether you're on my YouTube, superjesusjackson, or on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever way it is that you're choosing to listen to my weirdness. I really appreciate it. But yeah, these Oreos are stale. There is no, well, you know what's worse than stale cookies though? Stale chips. Actually, no, stale cookies are the worst. Stale chips I can still eat. Actually, no, they're both really bad. But let's not twist this one. Let me just go for it here. Thumbnail time. But here we go. This one's a little better. Still bad, but it's a little better. Still tastes good though. Not as good as it should taste, but it tastes good. I should probably cool it with the Oreos. We are done with the Oreos. We are officially done with the Oreos, everyone. Not only because they're stale, but because I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to jinx it, but like I just really don't want to get cavities, and after this I'm gonna brush my teeth just to be sure. Let me get some water. We're back. Oh, whenever you hear a little sip from your water, that's how you know it's bad. And by sip, I mean like the little psst. That's usually something you get from like the Coke, from like a Coke or a Pepsi. But sometimes you get it from water, and it's just bizarre. But anyways, God. I recently went to California, specifically the Torrance area of California, which I think is still considered Los Angeles. And it was pretty beautiful. It wasn't really video vlog worthy most of the time. I did go to some areas that were interesting. But overall, it's not like... which reminds me, I still have yet to edit my my trip that I had to Washington, D.C. I have so much footage of that, and I have yet to edit it, in a concise manner for all of you to see. It's just going to be a big task, and right now I'm working on another side project, so until that is done, I'll be able to engage with that, whatever the hell, that vlog, Washington, D.C. vlog, which is interesting. But other than that, I think, what have I done? Did I talk about Avatar 2? Have I talked about Avatar 2 on my channel? Well, I've talked about Avatar. Excuse me. I've talked about Avatar on the channel. I've not talked about Avatar 2, but I've seen Avatar 2 now, and it is absolutely incredible. It's one of the greatest films I've ever seen in my life. And I would even say, in some ways, it's better than the first one. So whatever it is that you are doing, make sure you watch Avatar 2, The Way of Water, which is a terrible name. But once you watch the movie, it makes sense why they call it The Way of Water. Actually, yeah, that's interesting. But when it was announced, I was like, that's terrible. That's awful. Update on my YouTube. I'm going to be uploading tomorrow at 9 a.m. A review of Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. It's sort of a review, but it's also sort of an analysis and sort of a commentary on the future of the DC universe, the cinematic universe, that is. And again, of course, talking about Zack Snyder. You can't, knowing me, you can't talk about what it is that, about Suicide Squad or whatnot, and not talk about Zack Snyder. So, what's going on there? It's a pretty loud noise outside. Should I be concerned? Probably not. Yeah, this is weird. I feel rather unprepared for this episode. Mainly because I did do some stuff. Like I said, I went to Torrance, California, and my girlfriend is a ballerina, so we went over there for that. And it was sort of a work trip more than anything. And even though I am currently on vacation, like I didn't really, it wasn't super vacation-y, like I guess. I still did a lot of work that I needed to do for side projects and even for YouTube. So, so it's interesting, even though the holidays are on, I'm still recording this episode. I'm still putting out a video. I'm still trying to do what I need to do to make you guys happy. Because my God, Lord, that is my absolute joy in life, is to make you happy. But watched Avatar, updated my YouTube, went to California, and I guess we can probably talk about beaches. I guess that's the topic of this video, beaches, because California has a lot of them. And it's interesting, when I saw it's been a while since I've seen a beach. Last time I saw a beach was in Santa Monica, California, I believe. And it was kind of like, it was whatever. Like, I was like, I was, what was I? I was like probably 12 or 13 or whatnot. I don't know how old I was. And it wasn't really a huge deal. Like, and I swam occasionally, and it was awful because the salt would go in your eyes, and then you'd see, like, fucking the debris on the sand and all the fucking flies surrounding it, and you're like, oh my God, it's disgusting. It was rather interesting, but not something that, really spoke to me, right? And my girlfriend, she really loves beaches. She really loves that sort of environment. And for me, it was really interesting because I have very dry skin. I live in a very dry area. And California right now is currently very humid. And it's very fresh, pretty much for the most part. But very humid, and so it was interesting kind of feeling that sort of temperature and that sort of, not temperature, that sort of climate, right? But once you got to the beach, you really got to feel the mist. It was like such beautiful scenery because the light of the sun and the clouds, the gloominess of the day. And then occasionally the sun would hit the ocean, and then sometimes it wouldn't, and it would be kind of a sort of very depressing ocean. So it's really interesting. But you'd feel this mist, and a lot of it probably is because of the ocean. And it was very nice. It was very nice. And it would get really cold, and then it would get really warm and nice occasionally. But it was like you saw, like civilization is like civilization is like right here, and then the ocean is like right here, or right here rather. And you're fairly close, and so you just see this giant expanse, right, of just water. And the ocean has always been kind of intriguing to me, but overall scary, like, and not as interesting to me as the desert, I guess. But the ocean is just another beast within of itself, and it is just, it's absolutely incredible, and I'm in awe of its grandeur and or grandeur, and but it's scary. Like I used to have like nightmares of like getting lost in the ocean, or being so like deep underneath or below the ocean, where it's so dark and all I could see was just like a faint light, and just a giant freaking squid just like would swim in front of me, and it was really scary because the squid was kind of ugly. And I was just lost, and I was just at the very bottom of the ocean. It's terrifying to me. Absolutely terrifying. And so when I see just a giant body of water, that's all I see. Is I see like getting lost. I see dying, from not breathing, and getting lost. It just sucks, dude. And complete darkness and whatnot, right? And the unknown, right? I mean, it's interesting. We human beings are scared of the unknown. That's why the ocean can be very terrifying for us, because there's just so much space and so much below us. And also literally there is darkness underneath the ocean. But this giant expanse, it's the opposite of claustrophobia, right? And so, it's the complete 360 of claustrophobia, and it still manages to give you that sort of, that anxiety and that fear. And it's rather fascinating. But of course, for someone like my girlfriend, it is the complete opposite. It is like, oh my God, like this is what makes me interested in the ocean, is the fact that we know so little about it. It's the unknown. And it's fascinating, right? And of course, the ocean can also be very beautiful from the outside, on the inside, of course. And I remember, we saw occasionally dolphins. Like we saw them occasionally rise up a little bit because they love the waves, right? So they're fairly close. To me, it's like, oh my God, like why is a creature like that so close to us? But really, for them, it's the other way around, right? But it's really fascinating, and I mean, I don't know how to swim. I'm admitting that right now on Chips and Talk, episode 53. I don't know how to swim. So the ocean is that much scarier for me, right? But it's ultimately beautiful, and seeing the sand, I love the sand, and I just love the vistas, we were on top of like a hill essentially, and like you go further downhill is the beach, is the sand, and then the ocean. So when you're on top of the hill, you have to climb down to get to the beach. And it's just beautiful because you really get to see kind of like from a top view, the ocean, and you see even farther, you see some boats occasionally, and then on the far left, you just see like all these like houses that live on the edge, right, on these cliffs, and it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful vista, and I would say what's even more beautiful is just seeing my girlfriend, seeing how much she loves it. And I was climbing down, I was filming, and I was taking pictures and taking some good video, B-roll and whatnot, and really just trying out the new camera, right? And I kind of go down, right? And she's just at the very far end. She's just way away from me, like just she lets me do my thing, and then I let her do her thing, but she just gets lost. And then I see her just like, right, just staring at the ocean, just in awe of it. And I sneak behind her, and But it's a beautiful scene because it was a staircase, and so you were kind of descending down, and I was taking pictures and video halfway through, and I saw that she was already at the beach, essentially the sandy area, and she was just looking at the ocean, and it was just her, and there's no one around her, and I wandered my butt down there after I was done doing whatever I was doing, and it was weird. It was in awe of her. A little bit more than the ocean. I mean, I understand both, but I understand the ocean, I understand the awe of that, but it was really her, just how much she's so fixated on the ocean and her awe. That was just really beautiful to me. So that was interesting, and I got a little bit of a little bit of that on camera, which I really appreciated. I'm glad I did. But a lot of that, is, and I guess we can easily go into a discussion on, just kind of the way people, enjoy traveling and whatnot. Some people enjoy just kind of walking around with no camera at all, not taking pictures at all, trying to take the least amount of pictures, the least amount of video. Whereas for me, when I'm viewing something, when I'm experiencing something cool, I'm like, oh, I gotta film it. You know what I mean? But like, sometimes that could be a little too much. You got to kind of try to have a good balance, because it can easily just become, something where you're detracting from your own experience, and that's not okay. So it's always best to try to, do a little bit of balance. And I try to make sure to do that, wherever I go and whatever it is I do. When I went to Washington, D.C., when I went to California, I was trying to enjoy my time with who I was and for myself. But also, I tried to get some good B-roll, and that was not the majority of the trip or whatnot for any of these trips. So, but, I can't help it. A lot of it is because of my creative self. I see something that's really beautiful, really pretty, really cool, really striking, and I'm like, I gotta take a pic of it. I gotta take a video. So it's really interesting. And my girlfriend's the complete opposite. She took one story, like video, for her Instagram. That's it, just one. And I was just taking shit all over, man. Obviously I was taking pictures of her and whatnot, and thankfully we got some pictures of me too. I didn't get left behind. But yeah, it's rather interesting, the way that people enjoy. And again, I'm much more of a desert type of person, but really like the ocean and just, it's just another form of beauty. It really is. God. And, it's interesting because when you think of the desert, the mountains, and you think of the ocean, they're literally the opposites, not only in color, but but they also have similarities, of course. But the opposite factor is that not only, of course, their colors are different, but the mountains are really, it's up, like they strike up. It's like an inverted ocean, whereas the oceans are the opposite, right? It is fully below where the action's going on, right? So it's just flipped. And for the desert, it's the mountains that go up, so it's rather interesting. But of course, the desert can also be interesting horizontally, and vertically, of course, but horizontally they can be interesting as well. The ocean, not really that interesting horizontally. I mean, it's beautiful, but really it's the below that is the fascinating part of the ocean, right? So it's really interesting. And I guess for me, if we're talking about, if we're making this a game, if we're making this a duel, I guess the desert can be a little bit more interesting, but I think everything balances out because the ocean is relatively unknown, in general at the very bottom. And so really the amount of stuff that we don't know about the ocean is just much greater than that of a desert. So I guess in terms of allure and mysteriousness and curiosity, and just intrigue, the ocean definitely beats the desert, right? I'm much more of a red guy than a blue guy. But I as I grow older, I'm starting to appreciate the ocean. I'm starting to appreciate the color blue and whatnot. And it's probably weird right now for you to be able to, because you're like, why the fuck is he tying up all these things together into one single thing, and all these different thoughts like color and intrigue and curiosity and science. But it's true, it's all related, it's all connected, it's all a factor into what we prefer as human beings and the things that we are afraid of. And so for me, the color blue is just kind of distant, it's kind of alien, which makes sense because the ocean is like that for a lot of people, right? And it's a place of fear sometimes. But, for my girlfriend, that is a challenge, a beautiful challenge. To her, it's like, let's do it. Let's go see what's up, So it's rather interesting. And then also, of course, the climate is just different, In the desert, things can be quite steamy and quite uncomfortable. For people who like to get wet, who like to be fresh, the ocean is definitely the way to go. For people who like to be in humid areas and tropical areas, the ocean's the way to go. I love the weather, but it can sometimes get a little bit too cold, a little bit too misty, a little bit too wet, and I'm not really a fan of getting wet, which is interesting. I'd rather be dry than wet. So God, that's a quote right there. I'd rather be dry than wet. But I think I'll end it right there, ladies and gentlemen. This was episode 53 of Chips and Talk, the podcast, the Super Jesus Jackson podcast, where we literally talk about anything and everything while eating a snack. We grab a snack, we chat. You see it. But yeah, this time talked a little bit about what was going on in my life, but partly because not really a lot is going on. It's really the holidays, it's not a lot is going on, and spent a lot of money and kind of trying to be a little bit more frugal. But yeah, that's it for me. You all take care, stay safe. Happy New Year. And thank you so much. We've been doing this for basically a year at this point. That's insane. It's insane. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to me ramble and talk. And you are here for me. I know you are, and that means the world to me. And I hope you enjoy a Happy New Year with your loved ones. Please stay safe. Take care. And actually, by the time that you're watching this, it'll be actually beyond the New Year. So, sorry about that, but Happy New Year anyway. But anyways, you guys take care. Stay safe. And until next time, I love you. Bye-bye.